Hey, so today we're going to review my second program that I've created for my clients out in the past, for my clients and for myself. This is my 8-week peaking program. Okay, I created this when I was an intermediate lifter, so I'd really recommend it for intermediate lifters more than novice or advanced lifters. So let's just dive straight in and have a look at this program. So the first thing you must do is choose your 1 rep max. Input your true 1 rep max for all these lifts, plus the rows, the front squats, and the overhead press. Then you need to basically choose pounds or kilograms for this program. 2.5 for kilos, 5 for pounds. This is your rounding. It rounds to the nearest 5 or 2.5. That's important. So let's have a look at what we're doing here. So let's go to the overview. Actually, let's look at that first. Actually, no, I'm going to look at the program. So this is the actual program sheet. So this is the program itself. This is what you're working from. This is the drop list. This is basically the list of options of exercises that you choose from. Okay, that will be actually in the program. You can see here these assistance exercises. You can see there's a drop down list of exercises. You can add to them if you want. You can change them, up to you. Okay, so for an overview, let's have a look. So this program is split into 2 phases. You've got your phase 1, which I call the volume phase, and your phase 2, which I call the intensity peaking phase. Both of them last 4 weeks. So it's an 8-week program in total, and then week 9, you just take that week off. You can either deload or just completely stop lifting for that week and rest and recover based on how burnt out you feel. So let's have a look at the exercises first that you choose. So on Tuesday, so I recommend that you do a Tuesday, Wednesday rest, Thursday, and then Friday, Saturday you train. So 4 days a week you're training. On Tuesday you do squat, you bench, you front squat, and then you do leg assistance exercises. Wednesday you deadlift, you overhead, you rack pull. I've got a special exercise that I do here, but let's just take the shrugs out and just say rack pulls and the core exercise, assistant core exercise. Then you got your squat, your bench, your incline press, and your push exercise, assistance push exercise. Snatch, grip, or pause deadlifts on Saturday, pendlay rows, stiff leg deadlifts, or the Romanian deadlifts, and then you got your pull exercise, your pull assistance exercise. So that's the exercises that you're going to be doing. So phase 1, let's have a look at phase 1. So phase 1, you've got 2 rep schemes going here. You've got day 1, which is the high volume day, which is 6 sets of 6. Okay, in week 1 you start at 65%, week 4 you finish at 72% of your 1 rep max, and then day 2 you're doing your heavier day with less volume, where you do 3 sets of 3. You start 80% week 1 and you finish 87% week 2. So you're just sort of getting close to that maximal effort training, but you're not quite there yet. And then you do something completely different for the deadlift, because that just applies for the bench and the squat. Now you only train your deadlift just once a week, whereas if you look at the program, you actually squat and you bench twice a week, but you deadlift just once a week. So your main deadlift, your competition deadlift, you do just once a week, but there are some variations built within the program of the deadlift. So week 1 you do 3 sets of 3, week 2 you do 5 sets of 5, 3 sets of 3, week 4 5 sets of 5. So you basically alternate between the two rep schemes, and you start week 1 with more sort of heavier weight, 80% for 3 sets of 3, and then you reduce the intensity to 70% for 5 sets of 5, then 85 week 3 for 3 sets of 3, and then 5 sets of 5, 75. So you can see the pattern there that's taking place and the logic behind that. Now phase 2, you actually you train the bench and squat again twice a week, but you only train the deadlift just once a week, your competition deadlift. Day 1 you do 5 sets of, you start week 1 5 sets of 5, 4 sets of 5 week 2, 3 sets of 5 week 3. So you reduce the number of sets by 1 each week. That's as the intensity is increasing. You can see we start 75% week 1, 77% week 2, and 80% week 3. Now day 2 is the max effort day. This is where you go heavy, low volume. You start week 1 with 2 sets of 2, so base volume of just 4 reps at 90%. 2 sets of 2 week 2, 92%, and week 3 you do 3 sets of 1 at 95%. Okay, now my advice would be 100% to wear all your lifting gear for this, and make sure that your technique is spot on when you're using this weight. So that's it. And then week 4 is the week when you chase your new PR, which could be anywhere from you start with 100% of your current PR, and then you possibly the best thing to do, the way to chase it is down here, where you do 102, 107, 110 for the squat and the deadlift, and then the bench press you do 102, 105, 107, but whatever works best for you. You should be at a position now where you know your PR chasing routine, or if you're doing this program for a meet, then obviously my advice would be to take week 8 off as a resting week, no lifting, and week 9 be your meet week where you go and do the meet. So you should know what your opener is and what you're looking to do at the meet. So you should have that planned before you start this program, so you have an idea of what you're working towards. Alright, so there we go. That's the program here. Again, it's pretty simple. This way, week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, and then we go down based on the days. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday and Saturday. Now again, if you can't follow this schedule, you could play around with it, but make sure you've got the same rest day intervals that you do with this routine. So that's my advice, but try to keep to this schedule. So for the assistance exercises, you actually have to choose these yourself. I've got a drop down list of exercises that you can choose. Okay, it's up to you which one you want to do, up to you entirely. And then you've got push exercises, so you've got stuff for your tricep and your chest. And then you've got the core exercises. You've got some great core exercises here. I love the ab rollers. I do those pretty much all the time. And then you've got pull exercises, which is great for the back and the bicep. Now I haven't actually included any shoulder exercises in these drop down lists, because we are actually doing the overhead press this day already for quite some high volume every so you can see here 6 sets of 6. So I didn't include any, but if you want, you can change one of these push exercises and change it to the shoulder exercise, maybe some side lateral raises or front raises or rear delt flies. So let's go to the next thing we need to talk about is right down here. Okay, you have a deadlift variation. As I said before, you've got 2 options here. You can choose a snatch grip deadlift, or you can choose the 2-second pause deadlift. Now you pause roughly about mid shin. If you are not happy with these, you could change that potentially to a deficit deadlift. That's the other option that you can do, but I didn't include in here because I didn't want to overcomplicate it. Now this is done at very low intensity, 45% week 1, 45% week 2, and then 50 week 3 and 50 week 3, and then 45, 45 and 50. So we do not work at high intensity heavy weight for these variations. These are to help you with sticking points. You should know by now which exercise works best for what sticking point and which weak area in your deadlift. So I won't go into detail about that right in this program, but if you feel like you want another video about that, I actually have a video talking about deadlift sticking points that I'll include in the description below, and I'll also include on my website. So be sure to check that out, because that could help you if you don't know which one's right for you. And then you can see here we got the, I don't know why I put supernote, that's from another day. We've got RDLs and we've got the stiff leg deadlift. Now again, you should know by now which one works best for you. For me, I choose the stiff leg deadlifts all the time because it better fixes my weak points, which is my hamstrings and my lower back, more so than the RDL that I feel personally targets my glutes a bit more rather than my hamstrings and my lower back. So that's my personal opinion on that, but you choose which one's best for you. But the pendlay row, that must stay the same. The incline barbell press, that's another exercise that must remain the same. Now you can see here we got the rack pull. Now I've actually said shrugs in there. I don't know why I put that in there, because initially I think I wrote shrugs. You got the rack pulls. Now for the rack pull position, I would advise just above the knee or mid knee or just below the knee, but no higher than that and no lower than that. You're working here pretty sub-maximal intensity and you're doing some volume here. So for this, I'm kind of working on strengthening my traps, my rhomboids, and just focusing on that explosivity of my lockout. That's the purpose behind this one, why I've chosen that exercise and I put that in here. Sorry about this, I'll just delete this now to avoid any confusion. So that's it, that's the program. There's not much else to talk about really. I've included the RPE scale here. If you are one of those people who likes to work on RPE rather than percentages, that's there just as an FYI. And again, if you want to change any of these exercises, just go to this sheet and change it. You can just put something else in here, like pullovers, for example. Just type it in there and it will automatically change it in the drop down list. So that's up to you. So yeah, this is the program. I hope it helps you. I hope you enjoy it. If you have any questions, please do comment below in the YouTube or message me on Instagram, or you can contact me through my website, on the blog post, or by email. So just bear that in mind when you're running the program. Good luck, stay strong, and keep lifting.